That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below who you are bringing in for game week 7. Which transfers do you think you would like to see happen, or are you going to roll it? We'll come back at you next week with team selection videos, all that good stuff. So in the meantime, take care. Speak to you soon. So the first play we'll look at then is Carlton Morris. I don't mind this as a little bit of a 1 week cheeky punt. His stats are okay, couple of penalties, he's got 1 assist. His XGI is decent, 0.66, but if you take away his penalties, then it doesn't look quite as impressive. But of course he has penalties, and the one thing he got that just makes him a consideration for this week is that double game week. He has fixtures against Everton away, Burnley at home. It's not going to get any better than that, and the fact that no one else doubles does make him an option at 5.5. That's a pretty decent price. For me, it's just a case of the fact that it's Luton. The expected goals isn't the worst in the division, but not the greatest either. I'm just not sure how much I can trust Carlton Morris to really bring anything home. Away at Everton's not going to be easy. I don't think Burnley are a bad side either, despite their recent results. I just got no confidence in that Luton side. He's the only player that I would consider from them for this double game week, and the fact that I consider him is only because I'd possibly wildcard in 9 and 10. I don't think I'd need him for any of those other fixtures, so it's just purely for this double game week, and releasing the extra funds from, let's say, Jackson would help as well. But I think in all honesty, I'd probably just rather go all the way down to an Archer and save another million if I was doing it to release the funds. Just doesn't appeal to me, but I can understand if he gets 1 return in that, suddenly he's looking at a double-digit haul with the points he's just going to get from appearance. So he could be worth a punt. I could be sat here and regretting not going for him, but I think at the moment, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to avoid him. One player that I would definitely look at as, again, a little bit of a punt, with the fixtures look decent, is Rasmus Højlund. 3 goals, nothing to write home about, and his expected goal involvement isn't that impressive either, but he's just kind of bedded into this Man United side, and he does, with the minutes he's had so far, look like he's pretty much nailed. Palace at home, Brentford and Sheffield United, they all look like decent fixtures for the next 3 games. After that, Manchester City gets a little bit trickier. Probably wouldn't want to keep him beyond that. So for, again, if you're wildcarding a 9 and 10, he does look like a bit of a cheeky punt to me. He's only going to get better as fitter as he gets on. His impressive record away at Serie A as well. I think the minutes look good. I don't think there's many reasons why I wouldn't want to go for him at the moment. 7.1, it's just a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm not sure whether I particularly would go for him, or whether you would rather go for a Darwin, or if you haven't got Alvarez. Again, I just think that's probably a better option at this time. But the fixtures look so good, he's possibly worth a punt on Højlund if you're going from Jackson. I think we have to mention him after he gets 3 assists, a hat-trick of assists for Kieran Trippier. So last week we looked at those Newcastle defenders, and Trippier was always going to be the most desirable one, but it was just the money that he was costing. And also, I did have doubts about whether or not he was really worth it, given that he hadn't produced anything so far with hard fixtures. But he certainly proved me wrong in that respect. 3 assists at the weekend. Burnley at home, Palace at home, West Ham in between. They've got some really nice fixtures, and Wolves as well you wouldn't bulk at. So all of a sudden his XGI has gone through the roof at 0.38. That's really good for a defender. Got over 0, it was 1 point something for his assist expected at the weekend. Obviously he did even more than that because those chances were put away. So he does look good at 6.6. He's only going up in price, and I do worry that if I'm wildcarding in 9 and 10, his price is just going up. But at the moment I can't afford to get him in. But I think, again, if you've got the money from, let's say, a Chilwell, then yeah, he looks like the option to go for. I guess maybe his appeal was negated, or his benefit was negated for owners because of the goal by Birds and the goal by Botman. But this Trippier looks great. He does pretty much nailed it, seems as well. He even got a rest towards the end of that game with Livramento coming on. So if I could afford the money, I think he's definitely worth it. And any wild cards moving forward, I think he's got to be in. One player that does interest me, because it does release some funds as well, maybe if I'm going to go from someone like a Sterling, is down to Anthony Gordon, because the fixtures look great. And now the fact that Barnes looks injured, we have to just wait and see how long that will be for. But that could potentially pave the way to keep his place in the slot. Not that he was particularly losing his place, but rotation-wise, he was a risk. 2 goals, 3 assists, brilliant XGI. The fixtures, as we've just seen, look really good. 5.6, I think he looks really good value. For me, going from Sterling, someone like that, again, releases funds. Wildcards potentially as well. Newcastle looking like they're playing really well at the moment. So Anthony Gordon's going to be on my radar. Possibly not this week, although Burnley's a great fixture. Possibly this week then. The other one, the last one, I'm just trying to think of players that maybe if you want to move off of a Chilwell or if you've got a Gusto, they're going to be quite cheap. And Dalot maybe fits the bill. Not much going forward. Certainly seen him more attacking in previous seasons. But with Luke Shaw out, he looks like he's got that place at the back pretty assured. Fixtures looks decent for the next 3 games. 4.9, he looks like a decent punt. I haven't got a lot of faith in that Man United defence, but they have a few players coming back. And with those fixtures, yeah, he could just be worth a punt at 4.9 until maybe again your wild card, or you just want to put him on a bench or move on to someone else. That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below who you intend on bringing in for game week 7. In the meantime, we'll come back at you with a team selection, and then next week we'll have wildcards for you, team selection video, watch list, all that good stuff. So make sure you hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime, speak to you soon.